Bang Bang Niner Gang.
Yeah, welcome in. Technical difficulties for anyone listening.
I can't believe how big that computer got, like how wide open it's displayed open.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
So
man.
I've been
It's
hearing
like
about the Niners being called the 40 whiners. Bitches
Yeah.
after field.
Why would you bring that up?
Right away. Right off the
It's a
start.
Super Bowl
Because
edition.
he's a
He's
Kansas City.
He's trying to set the tone. He's
I
been
don't
waiting
know.
in the wings this whole time.
All I've heard is Chiefs fans complain about refs all season, like they've not been given gifts for the last 4 or 5 years. So
I think that's a false narrative. I don't see none of the Chiefs shit I follow.
Yeah, it's called bias, news bias, echo chamber, feedback loop.
It might be.
That's why I don't see it. Because
like the
Both
the
of you are
ending of-
just reading the only
I will say,
hype
over the last 4
articles.
years, the Chiefs
the
have...
refs fucked him in the Green Bay game. The refs fucked
Oh, the
him
guy
in
got fucking tackled at the end of the game, way before the ball got... I was at that game live.
The guy stepped over the line. The refs fucked him.
Technically he broke the rule,
Well-
but guys do that all the fucking
yeah,
time.
but this is not Vietnam. There are rules.
There are rules.
But back to what Derek said. At least we're practicing. We're going through and doing our thing. We're making do. It's not the best of situations. We weren't blessed with another NFL team's facilities. We had to go to a low
What happened
end
to the-
D1 program. So they put.
I haven't
sod
heard
down.
this.
The
They
Chiefs
put-
get home field technically because
Yeah.
the AFC had the best record.
Uh,
Or the Ravens
What-
did
what?
technically,
Okay.
right?
technically, the
Why is it
Ravens
home
did,
field?
yeah.
It's just home.
So you get to
Status?
use the facility that the Super Bowl will be in, you get to practice there, and then the other team usually goes like some college field.
So we went to UNLV, who, to their credit, installed a nice new $350 million facility. I might be messing up that number, but it's new. Let's just call it that.
They
But
suck though.
yeah, but so they laid natural grass on top of field turf, leading up
What?
to them visiting. So it was soft. It wasn't like it was. It wasn't Soldier
I
Field,
feel like it would move on you.
where
know?
it just tore away from you the moment you tried to cut. But it was soft. But now they've made do with it, and it is what it is. They've powered through it.
They've been there all week.
They're adults, yeah.
What matchups are you looking forward to?
49ers versus Chiefs. That's what we're talking about.
The specific players.
But,
Oh.
Players.
Who's
schemes.
covering?
no,
Kelce?
I
'Cause
really
that's
wanna,
what's important.
I really want to find out how we're going to take Kelce out of the game.
Yeah, who's
Because
covering Kelce?
The Ravens did the exact opposite you should do, and that's gave him space for an entire quarter, and all they did was get cooked. So I'm really interested to see how we take him out. Like, do we just bracket coverage him like we've done in the past, or do we just really put a safety up on him and hope for the best? I know we're not much for zone, so
You're gonna
I mean,
have to switch it up. You know?
yeah, we're gonna have to. But I'm
adjust
also
and-
interested to see what
Zone's
our
what
D line
Kelsey's
does.
best at, though.
Our
Yeah.
D line on their O line for the offense's credit has been actually pretty good. I know no Joe Tooney likely, but I want to see if
All
this
pro guys,
lackadaisical bullshit that everyone outside of Nick Bosa is giving off, from our defense. Like going back and watching the Detroit Lions game, you got defensive linemen tracking downfield, just dogging it. And Jahmyr Gibbs cuts back. If that guy's not dogging it, that's a tackle, not a 15-yard, 20-yard touchdown. So I'm interested to see if we can actually do that. But those are my two.
Chase Young's been getting washed out of run plays.
Yeah, Green Bay put it on tape. Just bring your wide receiver over and just crack back him a little bit, and it'll open the entire side. Like it's lather, rinse, repeat. And
I think
Detroit did
the
the
Chiefs
same
are going to
thing.
try to do that. That's what they did. The
1000%.
Ravens punched him in the mouth, drew the defense in, and then went over the
screenplay.
top with Kelce and shit. I mean,
You
they were
guys
getting
will-
after the quarterback, but it's Mahomes.
Yeah.
You guys have been living off the screen a lot. I foresee that a
That's
lot.
always
Like
fucking
screen to
big
Kelce,
scheme.
screen to Pacheco, screen to Rashee Rice, that. Like that's probably what we're
Just quick strikes.
Little
because
chunk
if
plays.
you see what Detroit did to us, they got us moving laterally. If you can get that defense moving laterally and not identifying what you're doing right away, you can gash us all right because we're not tracking to the ball like when we had D'Amico Ryans last year or the last 2 years. So, yeah, that could also be a big takeaway that could change the game.
Well, what is where the quarterback Brock Purdy?
Brock Purdy.
I don't trust him.
He's not as like mobile, like crazy
He's some big
threat.
runs these playoffs.
Well,
I would say he's
But I'm
more
saying more of
mobile than I think
Mahomes. He's
anyone-
not like a make anything happen type.
Honestly, he's just like Mahomes isn't like Michael Vick out there. He does enough to make it work, and that's exactly what Brock
Pick
does.
and
It's just-
choose when you
Mahomes
know,
is
not
just
run out of bounds.
6'3" doing it, not 6'1". He's 6 foot.
So
You
he's
know?
next to Mahomes.
And he's got a dad
He's not
bod.
much taller than I am.
Yeah, but I mean, he's mobile enough that it gets you the stuff you need when you need it, and that's what Brock is. It's just if he gets out of the pocket and can scoot a little bit, it's not gonna home run ball you, but you know you're gonna.
Sounds
make
like
the
it's
change.
still anyone's game though, right?
I think it's gonna be super fun and close. I feel good. I feel better about this matchup than I did 4 years ago. That's for sure.
Different team.
Yeah.
Chiefs are
100%.
pretty
I feel more
similar.
comfortable with this one. I feel a lot more confident than the last time we played.
What's changed? Because the Chiefs seem like they're fairly similar. They had
Well-
Hill back then.
Just hearing the amount of bitching from the Niners about a lot of different things makes me think
Like just the field or what else? We haven't
they
mentioned
were
much.
talking about the field, and then they were putting up all this bulletin board material for the Chiefs, saying like, "Oh, they just hold a whole bunch." The owner went off on something
Nick
about how
Bosa
he felt
saying
like
they
they got
hold.
screwed
Well,
out of
that's
the
true.
last Super Bowl.
74 does hold a lot, so I mean, what's the point?
They just been bitching about a bunch of fucking shits. The owner was saying like last game.
They asked Bosa what his biggest takeaway.
I thought
was.
Bosa he made a. I
And
think,
he just said they hold a
well,
lot.
there's like one part of the clip they keep like just straight up clipping where he's like they just hold a whole bunch, but if you write the whole clip itself, they actually played this whole quote. It actually is more like they did lead the league in offensive line holds or penalties at the very least. They had a lot of holds. The tackles do.
Yeah, if you're not holding, you're not playing hard.
But that was like
right?
they shortened the clip to make it sound like he was just like bitching, especially after the owner's comment saying that he got fisted out of a Super Bowl because he felt like they were not calling holds.
Well, they better call him this week.
They probably
and-
won't. They'll let him play.
They let him play a lot more. I mean,
Yeah, and that's
they'll-
how it happened last
they'll call
time.
egregious shit, but
Didn't they like the Chiefs get a penalty? Or yeah, they got a penalty went their way at the end of the last Super Bowl. It was like the first penalty of the whole game.
no, it was a big
seemed
hold.
like. Yeah, but it totally changed the
Don't fucking hold. I
outcome.
mean, you watch the jersey getting pulled way before the ball got out there. I mean, they don't even call obvious shit.
I'd like to know how many other jerseys got pulled that night.
They're not going to be
and
like
get called.
typically. They're not going to be all ticky tacky, you know.
No, and
just
they
trying to
have-
do
Well,
their little thing.
And the playoffs, to be fair, the playoffs have been, I think, overall refed really well.
I thought so
But
too.
Yeah.
when it comes down to that
'cause when you were
last
talking
one,
about talking the games the following Monday, I didn't hear peeps about like so and so blew this call, blah blah blah. It was all like.
I mean,
know,
I see that
down
shit
to
for every
plays.
game, but it's usually just people bitching and
Yeah.
nitpicking, you know. But I've got overall like
Outside of maybe Green Bay complaining about not getting the first down against us when Jordan Love got blasted by Dre Greenlaw on fourth down. I didn't think he got it, but I've got one of my employees. He's a Green Bay fan. He won't shut up about it.
I work for 2 Green Bay fans.
But
I get a lot of shit at work for not having an NFL team. Like mostly everyone, you know, like has some random team that they like to cheer for. It seems like, but I'm the only one.
sure.
And it's fine. I would wear an NFL hat, you know.
I think one thing I'm really looking forward to watching is on the defense for the Chiefs. You can run on them.
Yeah.
They've done better in the run in the playoffs, but I mean their whole thing is they don't give up big plays. So yeah, you can nickel and dime them to fucking death.
Yeah.
But they're gonna put the pressure on your quarterback to make
As
plays.
soon as he drops back, you know, they're really good at dialing up pressure for sure.
Yeah, I mean you can try to march your way down the field just running, and you know eventually if you're just running the same shit, the defense is just gonna tee off on it. So you got to be varied.
And I think that was the Ravens' error, you know, last week, is they really got away from the run where they were gashing you guys pretty good, and then immediately would go 3 throws down the field with Lamar, and it didn't make sense, right? So I'm thinking it won't be like Green Bay and San Francisco last year, or 4 years ago, when leading up to our first matchup, where we ran the ball or we only passed 8 times. I don't think we'll be doing that. I think Shanahan loves to call his offense. He's first play of the game. He's going to put someone in motion and throw the ball. Like, he's not a run first guy. So, and I don't think you'll really see any big run calls.
You think he'll
until,
be
like,
aggressive?
third. He always is. Like, first couple series, he's really trying to put stress on the back end of the defense and see what they do.
Yeah.
And then third drive is all of a sudden Christian McCaffrey show. And he'll get the majority of the touches if it's a
See,
That's an advantage for the Chiefs, though, is they're fucking backing their defense.
I know, right?
Lights the
So
fuck out.
I want them to not. I want Kyle to not do that. It's kind of where I'm getting at, but he's not going to because it's Kyle Shanahan. He's going to be like, He's a confident dude that anyone that talks about him talks to you about his acumen as a play caller.
Who do you think has more to lose in the game out of everybody involved?
That's a really good question. It's a really good question.
Who has more to lose?
I think us.
Mahomes
because,
has a chance for some crazy legacy shit.
Yeah. I think us because this might be one of the last few times we could get it done because after this season we are going to have to start paying people or trading them. And I think for right now the Chiefs are still built for a longer haul. So even if the Chiefs lose this weekend, I think they turn around and immediately become a playoff and likely Super Bowl contender. San Francisco, I don't think it does not have that time.
It's interesting.
How do you feel about Lynch and your trust in his drafting?
I 100%. Outside of the Trey Lance draft, he has knocked it out of the park. Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel. Let's throw Brock Purdy in there now. There was the big miss with Trey Lance, but they've hit every other single draft pick, which previous GMs, Trent Baalke, fuck you, couldn't. Trent Baalke was the GM when Harbaugh was there, and is the reason why Harbaugh went and took the Michigan job.
With Lance, how much do you think that was influenced by Kyle Shanahan wanting this type of dual threat quarterback? And
He did,
almost in a sense
100%.
usurping.
The problem is when Brock showed up, he was doing better than both Jimmy and Trey right away in practice. It was immediate. Kyle Shanahan pulled Jed York aside after a second practice one fall and was like, "Hey, I have something to tell you. I think Brock Purdy. I think our last draft pick is our best quarterback." And Jed was like, "What the fuck does that mean?" And
Did you read that
Kyle
article? I think it was.
No, I
talked about that in the Athletic.
I watched him talk about it, Jed York, and he was just like, "Well, what are you gonna do?" And Kyle was like, "Well, I'm gonna get Trey ready. We spent all this capital on Trey. I'm gonna do my best to get him ready." And he got hurt, so we never really got to see if he could get better than what he, did that first week. And
He played for 1 week?
Yeah, he got hurt week 2.
I've never heard this name before. I feel
Yeah,
like.
Trey Lance.
He's with the Cowboys, or at least he was this
He
year.
is now.
Right?
Yeah, we
Still
traded him
is?
to the Cowboys.
Oh.
Yeah. He was a really highly sought after quarterback.
Was he OSU? No, he was North Dakota State.
Yeah, North Dakota State. Yeah, he was an offensive dynamo up there.
It's
and
different.
Now his
It's
last year though,
different.
he didn't
He
play,
didn't
right?
play.
It
Yeah,
was
the
during,
last year it would have been
COVID.
his senior year, but yeah, it was COVID. But the year before, absolutely lit it up, right? So he gets hurt. Jimmy G didn't even go through training camp, right? So he doesn't even have any sort of practice rapport with the team by the time he's activated. Boop. Insert Jimmy G week 3, and so then he plays all the way up into the week 14 match against Miami, and Jimmy G gets hurt. Brock Purdy comes in, and the rest is fucking history.
Well, they lose. Did they even lose going into the playoffs?
Wait, in
until
week-
No, not until Eagles.
14 though, but that's not that long
week
ago.
14,
He's only been playing though for a
and then
couple months.
essentially, yeah. And he's already 4-1 in the playoffs. His only loss is that Eagles game where he tore that ligament in his elbow, first or second drive. So this is the one where it's his to prove because it shuts up a lot of critics, right? A lot of people kind of
Watching him get lucky with that ball glancing off the guy's helmet and then into getting that critical first down. I mean, I watched shit like that, and he's had a lot of times where his balls should be picked off.
It looks crazy until you see in slow motion how the wide receiver's the only guy that can get it, and you're like, how the fuck did you fit that in? There's a throw early on in that game-winning drive against Green Bay. He throws it to Brandon Ayuk, who's diving, and it looks like it's on the ground. The ball is, and the defender's right in his hip. It had to have been the most accurate of passes, and he did it, delivered it. And it's just crazy how he's able to do that where it looks like, what the fuck are you doing? But then, first down, you're like, what the, holy shit.
I think Chris Jones is going to feast in your guys' line. They'll put
Yeah,
him over that right
because
tackle.
I was
going
going
to
to say, put him over on the right side, he's going to have a field day, 100%. And I know that.
Not having him in,
it might
he's
actually,
hurt
and the thing is it might keep Kittle inside most of the game just to make sure that doesn't happen. Which
Yeah.
he's fine with doing, But
well, that takes away a passing option though. Kittle staying in.
then you have CMC,
That's a
Brandon
win.
Ayuk, and Debo. So it's
They
a
do a
win.
lot of chipping with CMC too.
but-
You know,
Yeah, and he'll play he'll get in there and pass pro too. But then we have our third and Juwan. Like, there's a reason why that's a phrase, is because if we need a 3rd and long or 3rd and 5, he's got it. That crazy dumb behind the back almost throw where he lofts it over a linebacker and Juwan Jennings jumps up one-handed to bring it down. Like, Juwan does that in practice all the time too. He's also our best run blocker. So your cornerbacks are going to probably get a 15-yard penalty for him shoving them into the sidelines. Usually happens once a game.
we have really good attacks. in
Some
secondary.
dirty plays.
No, he just drives the guys off to the side. The Green Bay game, he did that, and when no one threw a flag, thankfully they just let him play. But it's that type of stuff that dude does. So that'll be something that we didn't really have the last time we played. I mean, we had a running game, but I don't think it was as good as what it is right now. You know,
Yeah, Jusic, their fullback, he can line up all over the fucking place, and he's a really good blocker.
he's another
Kittle
guy.
in line though, even if Kittle's not going up for passes, he's probably the best blocking tight end in the NFL right now.
Yeah, and if you put Kyle Juszczyk in at tight end, he's probably in there with Kelce too, just because he's that athletic and crazy. He's just a little shorter.
Yeah. Do you think Kelce will retire if he wins?
No,
No, he's even said he's probably got a couple years, even if
he said he'll keep going until he can't anymore.
Yeah, so that's I like this idea that the Chiefs have another chance next year. You know. But
They'll
he
probably go get a wide receiver in the
Yeah, we'll go for a
offseason.
3-peat.
he really
Oh, yeah,
wants
100%.
his dynasty
Yeah.
now. You know, 2's not enough.
And Kyle Shanahan,
He's
man,
28. No, he's not
What?
played for a long time more.
Kyle Shanahan's like 0-4 in Super Bowls. You know, whether it's a coordinator or Super Bowl, so he's
Really?
got something to prove.
Where
a
else do
little
they
bit.
lose at?
Yeah, that's where my
Atlanta.
legacy question's coming in. Like
The
Mahomes is
Atlanta
going
thing.
for like.
You remember?
Lost
28
the 17.
Yeah, he was the offensive coordinator for
Oh,
Atlanta.
I
that
think
season.
I knew that. That's ringing a bell.
Some of the arguments
That's
I heard about like legacy in the
crazy.
news
And
being like Mahomes, even if he loses the game, he was at the Super Bowl on his worst year ever,
100%.
and they still have, they're going to be competitive.
His
for this.
worst
So
year.
everybody's like,
right?
well, what about Shanahan then? If he loses this, then like, what does that mean for his legacy? I've been to 2, haven't won one. The coordinator's the biggest meltdown with the Patriots when he was with the Falcons.
So he's got a lot to come back for.
Yep.
All right.
A lot to prove there, and that's why I'm hoping he's smarter. Because I mean, even in that Atlanta game, they should have just been running the ball to kill the clock, and he's telling Matt Ryan to go out there and sling it, and they're getting 3 and outs all of a sudden. You know, it's
Yeah.
giving Patriots life. You don't give Tom Brady life like that.
So you're saying that if they get up 17, they need to start running it?
Yeah.
You were saying you want to be aggressive though throughout earlier.
Who was a running
Just
back
in the
for
first
Falcons
quarter.
back then? Tyler Algier or something?
No, that's a great question. Who was their running back at that time?
I know they had awesome receivers, Julio Jones and
Yeah.
the guy from Alabama. They're both from Alabama, I guess. Was it Calvin Ridley?
John, look it up.
I don't know who was there.
Who? I don't know any of these people are.
Running back for Atlanta Falcons in 2018?
You got it. All right.
Tom Brady.
Yeah, for Atlanta's Falcon, dude. Obviously, it wasn't Jamal.
No, it would have been later on than that. It would have been like 15.
Matt Ryan, Patrick DeMarco was a running back with Devontae Freeman.
Oh, Devonta Freeman was
And
there.
they had Mohamed Sanu.
Oh yeah.
Julio
he-
Jones, Mohamed Sanu.
Yeah. So
Alex
they had
Mack
like
at
a
center.
weird running back by committee,
Yeah, Devontae he was more like do everything.
kind of like
So-
what Debo is.
I didn't
Okay,
remember
okay,
DeMarco, to
okay.
be honest with you. Probably
So-
power back.
Yeah.
What's the unexpected twist that's going to happen in the Super Bowl that no one's prepared for? Like, who's going to be the breakout star?
Rashee Rice, maybe. He'd be one guy. Pacheco, if they really get but Pacheco's usually like.
Well, I was
he's
thinking
always
like
100 yards from scrimmage. And he
I was
might
talking
get a
like-
couple tutties.
left shark style, you know?
I think Rice has the biggest like breakout chance to me.
Sure.
That's
Everybody
what I'm
knows
talking.
the
You know what I'm
Niners.
talking
Oh
about,
yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Rasheed Rice for sure.
Or who for the Niners?
What, that could have himself a day? It's fucking Brock Purdy, man.
Well, I'm saying like unexpected star.
honestly, some people don't expect him to do well this weekend because the Chiefs' defense is kind of good.
Okay.
Right?
They're really fucking.
So
good.
what's like the wild flag wild card that's
The
gonna
Chiefs
happen?
Statistically,
Is there gonna be like
the
an-
Broncos did when they won that last one with Peyton Manning?
Is someone gonna block a punt or like is there gonna be a missed field goal, safety? What do you think?
I think with us having a rookie kicker, that's something that's a liability for the Niners.
Or just
Super Bowl
just a miss at the
rookie
very least.
kicker.
Blocking's- that's
He missed
hard.
one.
Blocking
He's got a couple
happens.
this year.
That's normal.
Yeah, but yours is Butker's a bit more seasoned.
Butker's a fucking. butt
Moody's
kicker's
gonna be
his
good,
nickname.
I
He
think,
never
because he's got the
misses.
leg. But like, yeah, some of these moments have been big, and he missed one early in the Green Bay game that was kind of frightening. Made another 52-yarder later on, so I mean he bounced back. But like, this is now the Super Bowl. Man, if there's anything that I am worried about, it is Jake Moody winning the game. Like if it's tied and we drive down into field goal range, I don't feel rather tasty about watching him try to win.
Never put the Super Bowl on a kicker.
Some yes, Adam Vinatieri all day. Put it on his
Laces
fucking
out,
plate. I mean, there's some
Dan.
kickers like Justin Tucker. There's some kickers you could do that to, and that's fine. Like yeah, go out and win a game with Justin Tucker. You're probably gonna. You know, like Jake Moody, a rookie guy that no one's heard of, and this is his first time with, butt pucker time.
I think Butker, if he makes, I believe it's 3 field goals, he sets the record for most field goals made in a single playoff.
No shit.
He's got a good shot at it. They kick a lot of field goals. One thing I'm really looking
Yeah.
forward to seeing is Shanahan when they're passing likes to get matchups, right? With the fucking Chiefs defense is so great at matchups. Their cornerbacks can cover anybody, and then they got that all
Snead on
pro.
Ayuk is
I
gonna
can't
be
believe
awesome.
Snead didn't make all pro or at least a Pro Bowl. But
Brandon
then
Ayuk on Snead.
McDuffie though,
That's
they
gonna be
both
awesome.
can go inside out
Yeah.
and play just as equally as well. And you know what Snead's all about. And McDuffie was all pro. So they can those guys can move whatever, follow
Yeah.
whoever the fuck they need, and the rest of the defense just fills in the cracks.
Yeah.
The safety's been playing great too. We're finally getting turnovers. That's the biggest thing I think.
Yeah, I think
We're getting turnovers.
Oh,
We're 13 in the
has
regular
been a-
season.
So who's gonna win turnover battle?
Drew Tranquil's
Chiefs are
been a-
hot right now on that.
Yeah.
Tranquil's best pickup we had, I think.
Yeah.
Who's your
For sure,
fumbler?
because he can come down and he does really well at run support too, which.
He does everything. He's
Yeah.
and he's smart. He's really athletic.
So he's going to be the guy that we're going to have to try to get out of position the most in order to succeed. Because if we can get him out of position on run plays, that's going to get us to the second level really quick. But yeah,
There was
Who's the fumbler? Who's gonna fuck
we
it
don't
up?
fumble much, man. Like Christian McCaffrey doesn't fumble.
Purdy.
That's
The
what I
Chiefs
was
will
thinking.
get
Like,
after
Purdy
I
probably.
bet Purdy's
but
gonna give
I don't
one
know.
up.
He's not been prone to fumbles. Like he's thrown 11 interceptions, 12 if you count the playoffs. But I mean, that I'm not terribly worried about because that dude's got ice water in his veins, which is kind of nice to see.
He doesn't do as well when he's got pressure of his face. Chris Jones, I think, he's
Honestly,
gonna feast.
he has the best stats out of any quarterback in the league under pressure.
He puts up a
You-
lot of
You
fucking
can
ducks
go.
though
You
under
can
pressure
go.
too.
You can go onto ESPN.com or NFL.com and find out he is #1 in passing.
The counter argument I would have to that is this
Passing
year they went on a
completions.
losing skid when they were
He throws
when they
almost
didn't have
70%.
Debo.
He throws almost 70% when he's got pressure in his face.
His receivers are amazing at catching,
Who
and I'm not
cares?
worried about that because
Who
the Chiefs' defense
cares?
is
He
great.
puts
Yeah,
it
it's
to where
the same
he
thing.
puts the receiver.
He floats a lot of shit.
So does Mahomes.
So does Mahomes.
Not
So
really Purdy
you're
does.
like,
He
it
likes to
sounded
under-
like you're describing
He
Mahomes
likes
that
to
entire
underhand
time.
shit like at weird moments where you're like, "Fucking crazy, dude.
Some-
nice work." but
Sometimes
whoa.
I think Mahomes purposely just runs away to get that feeling of under pressure to throw
Brock
the ball.
Plays his
understands
best
what
under
passes
street ball.
need touch when
It's
he's
the
under
same
pressure,
thing.
and he's taken some massive hits and have completed passes for big games. Like him having pressure in his face, I'm not worried about it. It might be a little jittery first quarter, but by the fourth quarter, I've seen enough, man. Where
Chiefs have been getting after
he
every
throws. I
quarterback,
know,
even the
right?
most mobile ones.
So,
that's why.
and that's
and
you
they've
know
all
what?
been
They're
fucking
gonna
up.
they're gonna get their sacks, that's for sure. But like saying Purdy can't throw in pressure situations, stats don't lie. That would
I
be
watched
false.
him glance a ball and get lucky hitting off of a defender's
Sure.
head.
But which was pass interference because so we were gonna get the ball in first and goal anyway, if we want to break down that play.
So
Did they throw a flag on the play?
Yeah.
I don't recall that.
They did. They picked it up because we caught the ball and got the ball out to 3.
I said this last week when Tony was here talking about the Niners that
Mm.
I like I don't want the Chiefs to win because they're just America's team right now. You
Sure.
know?
That's the Cowboys.
They're fucking
It's
popular.
the rest of the
Yeah,
Chiefs
they're
right
popular. Yeah, sometimes you just want to hate the Pac team. You know, I'm
Well,
a
you're
fan
in
of
the
the Chiefs.
majority. Most people hate
Either
the
way.
Chiefs tired of the winning.
Either way, okay, good.
I-
But what I want to say about the 49ers is that because they have Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey, it just makes me sour because I'm a Husker fan at heart. And they're like the two older brothers of the ones that didn't work out here in Nebraska.
That's true. There's that caveat for sure. We also have Randy Gregory on the team, so I mean, if you're trying
really?
if you're trying to root for, he's a rotational defensive
And,
end for
the
us.
Chiefs have no Huskers as a
Not now. They gave DiCaprio
So-
Boodle to
In the
be
90s,
Does
they
he?
had a lot of
Does
Huskers.
he? Oh, I know, but does he?
Eric Warfield.
Did he start?
Warfield,
Does he start?
Boodle? No,
Gregory.
he was.
No, Gregory.
No, well, sometimes he has, but I don't think he will. It'll be Chase Young and
He won't.
Bosa.
Oh,
But
yeah.
he and Chase Young. Give
He's
each
on
other a break.
Chase Young's level.
Mhm.
Wow.
Will
All right.
Shields was a Husker, played with the Chiefs for a long time. Neil
100%.
Smith,
Neil Smith, yeah.
Purdy went to the Broncos.
So hold on though. What did you think of
think
signing
Baker,
day
too.
today?
Signing day.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good.
Hey, we just got
Yeah.
some other wide receiver and
We got a defensive
safety.
End. We
Or
got
defensive end.
We got a defensive end that was fairly highly sought after. That was committed to UCLA, and we flipped him.
Okay. And then there's one from Washington that we flipped.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought that was the safety, but I can't.
Might have
remember.
been.
There was at least 3 very notable ones, and I think Rule's putting together a fucking great team.
Yeah, depending on what you follow, whether it be Rivals or 24/7. 24/7 had us ranked at like 8.
I don't follow it either, so
And we
we're
were
18th in the nation.
Yeah, and then Rivals put us at 16th ahead of Penn State and USC. So that moved
just
us.
for recruiting.
Yeah, for overall recruiting.
We're-
for
and
this
we're like
class.
Well, getting the #1 quarterback recruit was a long way.
I saw that
Yeah.
we were just like up
And-
there in the Big Ten. We're like with all of them.
Yeah, and
you
we're in
know?
the top 5 now, depending on
Of the
what
Big
service
Ten?
of the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Like Ohio State, Michigan, and Oregon
Oregon,
basically
yeah, and then
are over top of us at the moment. And then depending who you follow, it might be Penn State and USC. But then it's us right there. So
Will Compton, he's a former Husker, right?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Does he play for the Niners?
no,
He was on the internet.
yeah, he's got the bussin'.
no. He and Kittle are boys.
Okay.
Because of
He
the
was favoring the
Nebraska,
Niners,
Iowa.
and I can't remember what he said specifically, but
Yeah, he and Kittle are boys, and then because of that, McCaffrey's been on their podcast. So like,
Oh, really?
There's been a bit of that. That's how they're tight.
Christian.
But then like Trav and them are also tight too. So I think
do you
Trav-
listen to them regularly?
Mm,
I
I used to,
don't.
but I don't as much
Now,
anymore.
now
but
that I mean,
I
Super
follow
Bowls-
him on social media, but I don't
Oh, maybe
listen
I
to
should
him
do
as much
that.
as I used to.
Yeah, I only it's also off season, you know, so
Sure.
that's like I kind of
But-
stopped paying attention to the Huskers during the off season, but
Right.
all the news that I'm seeing, it's like wow, we're getting some real recruits, and I do really just love the way Rule talks to players and handles the media and shit.
Yeah,
he's just a good dude.
Did you watch all those videos they were putting out during training camp, like fall camp, and then the beginning of the season? where he
I
was
saw a
giving some
motivational
insights?
speech he was talking. I don't know where it was at
There's-
from.
Yeah, those sold me. Like getting to see those like small moments with the kids and whatnot.
Like-
and then you
like
see 'em
new
behind
ones?
The camera. Yeah, you can watch them on YouTube, but they were from the beginning of the season last year.
Oh, okay.
Like going through, like they had a video that basically summed up the previous week's worth of practice, you know, and then they released each one as, you know, each week passed, and then as the season started, I think they did the first 3 weeks. Then we started losing, so they stopped doing them. I think that's my guess.
Yeah.
But they offer great insight into what Rule
He
is like.
he is a
It's
preacher's
awesome.
son.
Yeah.
You know?
really,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can tell.
Just like his cadence
and
and
motivational speeches.
Yeah.
yeah, dude,
Yeah,
100%.
he used to obviously watched his dad deliver a sermon over and over and over.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Well,
I'm leaving.
see you, John.
Yeah, see you.
You don't want to give us
Next
a lowdown
time, try
on
again.
down with the thickness?
No,
Downs with
that
thickness.
needs to be recorded on proper audio because
We'll have all new audio equipment next week, and Ryan will join us again. Maybe not next week, but
Yeah,
soon
I'd be
enough.
more
I
than
don't
happy
know.
to. Yeah.
Well, depending on how the Super Bowl goes,
Even still.
someone might want to glow, someone might not want to glow. I don't know.
I'm not
Talk
afraid.
either way.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not
would
afraid
you?
either way.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
So, do you have a prediction?
Cool.
Prediction, John? Bye.
What?
Bye.
Prediction is the best.
Football will be
Usher-
better.
Usher doesn't fall.
I hope everyone has fun.
Yay.
Mm.
Go sports.
Shit.
Someone will
Goodbye.
kick a ball.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Niners did like 17 points in the first half. There's been games where the Chiefs have given up 17, but they've never given up 30 in any game this year.
Yeah.
I think in this playoff run, I'm not sure they've even given up a touchdown in the second half of a game.
Just a field goal last 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, against the Ravens was a field goal. I don't think the Bills got back in the. I think they scored 17. No,
Fucking Zay
No,
Flowers.
No,
they
it was
scored
like-
next. They score at the end of the fourth or something.
no, they didn't.
Or maybe
I don't think so. Maybe a touchdown. And the Dolphins, fuck, I think they only had.
They score at the end of the
9
fourth. Might be
points?
what I'm thinking.
Yeah, they didn't even show up.
Hmm.
They stayed inside where it was warm mentally.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised though if the Niners like hang 17. I don't think they'll score more than 24 in the game. And outside of that, then I could see it being 24. I think Mahomes going to do what he's got to do, like 27-24.
I wanted to say that earlier.
Otherwise, I
wanna-
think it would be something like 24, maybe even 20 to like 13.
Okay.
Either defense is going to be fucking lights out or they're not giving up more than 24.
You don't want the Chiefs to be behind. Because I feel like
Sure.
the Chiefs always
And
have
you
a
don't want
way
you don't want
of
them
them
to come in
Mahomes
last
is the
either.
only quarterback
Yeah.
in league history that has a winning record when behind by
Yeah.
more than 2 scores
They-
entering a fourth quarter.
They are just so
it's over 800. The next closest is like 4-3 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like
They're,
43%.
they're scrappy. They just find a way to win it in the end. So
Championship teams do that, man. They find
Yeah.
ways.
that's what.
That's the big
Never
takeaway for
underestimate
both
the
of
heart
these
of a
teams.
champion.
And both of these teams have had to do that during the playoffs. Like the ones that are actually can fucking get their shit together, find a way.
Yeah.
You know, they've done it. You know,
So, who from the 49ers has been to this Super Bowl before? Like, how much experience do they have?
actually, I think like eight players were on that team last time. We played
Starters?
the Chiefs. Yeah, Fred Warner, Kelce was in year 2 at that time.
Who's Kelce on their team?
Hmm?
Who's Kelce on their team?
Kittle. Sorry, Kittle was just there.
That's
My
what
bad.
I was thinking of.
Good catch.
Is that the year he set the record for receiving yards for a tight end in a season?
No.
So they do have a like.
There's people.
grudge.
There's people. Yeah, that were there. That Juwan Jennings, I think, is another guy, the wide receiver. He was on the
Okay.
team.
So they remember
Nick
the
Bosa,
defeat.
He was on that team. Yeah.
He was a rookie that year, wasn't he?
Yep. Nick Bosa was a rookie. We got Mooney Ward from the Chiefs, and he's been the best defensive back, the best corner. in the
Travarius
league.
Ward.
He's been.
He got All-Pro
absolutely
this year.
crazy. Yeah. That dude, I blew my expectations out of the water. I kind of thought he'd show up and do what every other.
Chiefs have been churning
Yeah,
out
yeah.
fucking secondary players. Like
Yeah,
they've
he
been-
showed up and was the
I
best
think Merritt
right
got
away.
hired away. He's our secondary coach,
Yeah.
and so I'm expecting to see a big drop off.
You guys let a good one get away, because yeah, that guy.
Then they
Imagine-
fucking replaced him
I
with
know,
a
right?
bunch of
But
fucking other good guys.
They're also really good, but yeah, the fact that Ward is basically shut out every wide receiver. I wouldn't be surprised if he spends time on Kelce at some point. Maybe if it gets dire, you know, like you just end up putting that guy, your best guy, on their best guy, and then you let everything else play out. So all bets are off at that point, right?
I think the Chiefs are going to win.
Yeah.
I think they're just
A lot of
going to
people do.
find a way.
I've
Right now, I think they're 2.5 point underdogs, but they're
And see,
expecting
that's
that
the
to
thing.
start
Also,
moving.
seen 1.5.
you put people under the underdog. They want to fight a little bit harder now. You
It
know.
was 2 earlier in the week, and then it's back down to 1.5.
Yeah, on one of the podcasts, it was Nick Wright's show. He's big into gambling, sports betting. And the episode was from today, but he immediately said that it was early on this morning.
So
That it was expected to start moving again and more towards the Chiefs' favor, but I think they're still underdogs.
I think this
Yeah,
is
still,
a good
but-
question. Which coach is going to outcoach the other coach?
So that was the thing we were talking about with legacy. You know, from the Reed's been here. a bunch. He's been doing a lot of
but
big
think
games
about
a bunch.
how set in his ways Reed is. Even if he thinks
that's the big thing.
If he thinks
he
he
has
knows
consistency, and like he keeps all his players mentally attuned to the
He's
game,
got a really good
the task
feel.
at hand.
He knows he's got a really good feel of like situational football. Like that's top tier.
The players rarely speak out in the bulletin board material. They're always praising the other team. You know, he runs a tight fucking ship.
Yeah.
You talk to the players, they're always like, you don't want to disappoint Big Red. Right? The players respect him. They fucking love him.
That's a good coach.
I mean, like, he's like a father figure in a sense, though, too. Like, he'll fucking spank your ass if he needs to.
Yeah. No, that's what you want to have a coach, really. So you think Shanahan's going to get too
I think this
ballsy?
is the one. Well, no. I just feel like he gets... He just wants to...
He overthinks himself.
He wants to sling it around, and so he's not afraid of just being first and
Playing
10.
Madden.
First and 10.
Yeah.
Most people
Chiefs
are going to
playing
dial
football.
up like maybe something off tackle, some A gap, B gap kind of shit. Like just run the ball, right? No, he comes out probably 3 wide with Juszczyk in the backfield with McCaffrey. Juszczyk will like do an orbit route and go out there, and we'll see what the Chiefs do, and it'll probably be like a dump off pass or something quick, you know. And it's usually
a little catch and play going.
Right, and it's usually like just seeing little cat and mouse, seeing how adjustments are made, and they've got the idea of where the ball's going to go right away. I think this time the biggest change too with the Detroit game was like second half. Immediately, we're feeding Debo the ball. I don't think, and we didn't really do that the first half of that Detroit game. That stops. I'm pretty sure Debo is going to be front and center right away. You know, and that's I think a big difference right there.
I think you'll see within if that's going to be the first test. You think that's going to come down to probably Snead or McDuffie making a play.
Yeah, because it's
Debo
usually going to be
makes the play.
something like a quick screen or like a slant.
Whoever they
So, I mean,
fear
like-
the most is who they're going to put Snead on. McDuffie will take the other
Just
guy.
it depends on how you guys can get off of those blocks, because that's the biggest thing. Because those blocks will get outside right away. It'll be to the side where Trent Williams is, and he's going to go out there and immediately be on a linebacker, and the wide receivers block really well. If like someone like Tranquil can like shoot through a gap or something and blow it up,
Chiefs.
that's
This
the
is
big
the
deal.
best tackling team I've seen for the Chiefs, and
Yeah.
probably
They
my
rally
fan.
to the ball a lot, you know, and that's
They're
that's
really
huge.
good tackling. Yeah, I mean, of course, if you can get past the first guy, you're going to get a chunk yard, but they don't give up a lot of big time plays for the most part.
No.
One thing I would say with Andy Reid, though, the way he calls plays, he can be really frustrating for fans, especially in the red zone when he does all the dancing around for his run plays, you know, or when they work, it's spectacular. But sometimes it's just like, dude, just run the ball, like you said, for Shanahan.
Just run the ball.
But one thing I will give him credit for, he has the screen game, but a lot of what he does though too is they run something, a concept, and then in the second half they get you always thinking, well, this is what it's going to be.
Yeah,
And
like
he
that
throws
touchdown in the
they get a
second
lot of
half
big
against
plays.
Eagles, where they dialed up. Who was that? The running back.
First
off
it was
the
Tony,
side.
and then it was Moore.
Yeah,
they
it was
ran
the
same
Sky
play.
Moore. Yeah, it was that Sky Moore touchdown where they just ran the same play, but this time Sky Moore went out left, wide open. Like Eagles.
Yeah, they
can't-
noticed something on film with the Eagles last year where anytime a guy went motion in a certain way, quarterback would bite and come up to the line, and they could swing it back out real fast. So the guy would like move out, see if the guy's in man, he's gonna follow him, cut back in, and then they hike the ball, and he's cutting in fast. So as soon as they hike, he cuts back again and gets the fucking cornerback moving the wrong way.
Yeah.
So they pulled that off twice for touchdowns on opposite sides of the
And that
formation.
stuff worked for Detroit against us, so I imagine if we're going to see it a lot by Kansas City.
Sky Moore and
Tricky.
Tony have been injured for the last 5 weeks or something.
Yeah, and I guess he
They're
got
both
activated.
playing or
Yeah.
practicing. I'm really curious if they'll even see the game.
Jerick McKinnon,
McKinnon's back. We'll probably see him in the game.
he's
I
still
think.
listed as on IR and ESPN, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I think I want to say he's been practicing, so he's got a shot. And if he can play, they'll probably dial up a couple things for him.
Yeah.
No, I'll be really interested if the Niners can hang 17 in the first half. That's when I think it's going to be an interesting game. If the Chiefs can keep them below that, I think the Chiefs are going to comfortably win.
We haven't come out very well the last few weeks, so I'd be really shocked if we did.
Last game of the season, can't hold it back now.
Yeah. So what was your score prediction?
I do think that the
Sorry.
Niners are in the first half are going to get theirs on offense.
Final
Right.
score.
Well, so that's where I was saying 27 to 24, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking 21-24.
But if the Chiefs put the clamps down on
Chiefs
D,
or Niners,
I
it
don't
could go
see
either way.
13-ish for the Niners.
What do you think is the final score?
Man, I think we hit the over 30-27.
What's the over?
It's
What's
like
the
44 and a half or something like that.
I have no idea what it is.
But yeah, I think both teams score on each other.
Yeah. No, I'm sure it's gonna be cat and mouse like you were saying
we're gonna be
earlier
able
too.
to run the ball because I think that's.
Well, there's
if
always a
one-
weakness.
If there's one weakness, for the Chiefs, it's run defense, and Kyle can get CMC into good position and Debo as well. 'Cause
Yeah.
We'll need like 9 to 10 minute fucking drives at that point. And
But at the
that's
same
the
time,
Chiefs are
though,
going to give up big plays.
Fine,
So-
wear that defense
And
down.
the thing is the Niners have been able to do that, so that that's not a type of game that they'd be afraid of. But yeah, I feel like both teams are going to do a really good job of scoring at some point. I don't know if the Niners start off hot, like D thinks, because we haven't. So, and with the way the Chiefs defense is and the way Kyle, I've said, calls plays, like I feel like it's gonna probably business will pick up in the third quarter and the fourth quarter, and yeah, I think we
For their
prevail.
defense?
I don't know.
That's what it comes down to. Is who's
Because
also
I
going
think
to adjust?
They
in the
can
second
pass on
half.
us. I mean, our pass rush is okay, but I think they'd be able to do a really
We
good
don't have
job.
the best receivers. If Mahomes goes over 300, they're definitely fucking winning, I think. Unless it becomes a shootout,
Yeah.
which I do not see that happen.
That's how I kind of feel it going, just because, by the third and fourth quarter, they're gonna be able to have their way. We should as well. So yeah,
Chiefs have been quick
but I-
strikes so far in the playoffs. Like first drive, they're getting touchdowns.
well, yeah, that Baltimore game, fuck, you guys were out to the races. It looked like it was gonna be over, and then
We got shut down in the second half, but Mahomes has also adjusted his game this year. He was like, we got a lights out defense, so he's not going to take chances.
Sure.
He's barely taking any sacks. He hasn't had a turnover.
Well,
in fact, I
you
think
guys
he's got
hadn't
right
been-
now the running record for most playoff games without a turnover.
When you guys hadn't given up a sack in like 8 weeks, and then that second half, I think the Ravens had like 2, and that's
Yeah.
like
But you're
But
saying
Mahomes
he's
is also
due.
playing defensive. He's like,
sure.
figured out on our defense. Otherwise, I'm not going to take a fucking single chance.
But he's due then for a turnover.
He's
thrown
adjusted
them.
his game.
He's thrown the turnovers.
After
It's just
the
they haven't
Raiders
been,
game,
they haven't been backbreaking.
They basically decided they can't trust the wide receivers. They have a great fucking defense, so they're basically asking Mahomes to be a high-end game manager. But he's still Mahomes, so if they need shit to get done, he's going to put the ball where it needs to be. It's up to the guys to make a fucking play.
Yeah.
Valdez-Scantling finally fucking came through this year, though,
Yep.
or this past game against the Ravens. He fucked up so many games this year, dropping game-winning touchdowns, just dropping in general a lot of passes.
Just good first down catches.
Yeah, he's dropped so many passes.
Kadarius Toney is,
Oh my god!
I think, the reason why the Chiefs lose the Detroit game.
Oh,
And
he
did
caused multiple
And
games.
he did another game.
Eagles when they had the
game.
fucking crazy lateral, lining up off sides by his
Oh yeah,
toes.
that too. But I
He's
thought
had
there was
multiple
another-
pick sixes though, where it's gone off his
That's
face.
what I was saying. Like there
Raiders,
was
I think,
another
was one.
Like
They
week
lost the
8.
Raiders. I think he had one
Yeah,
on
but
Raiders.
then you have the.
He hasn't
the
played
lineup
since that
outside.
game.
No, has not.
No.
And he says he's hurt and that he doesn't have anything bad to say about the Chiefs, even though most people probably think that's wrong.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You fucked up so many fucking games, dude.
Yeah, man. You can tell his focus just isn't there. And then they asked him like, "Who's the number 1 wide receiver in the NFL?" And
Yeah,
he said,
names
"Me."
himself.
Me when I get the ball. Like,
Dude, they force fed you the ball, and you
Yeah.
just got nothing but pick sixes off your face mask.
Yeah.
I think he had 3 pick sixes that literally 2 of them went off his face mask. The other one may have.
yeah.
I know for sure he had 2 just right off his fucking helmet.
So our defensive backs really have to be physical with their guys, otherwise, yeah. It's
That's the
gonna
nice
be-
thing though, is the dudes that we
it's gonna
do
be crazy.
start are fucking physical as fuck. Except for MVS. Yeah, I wouldn't even say necessarily that he's not physical. He's not known for physicality.
You know,
He just has stone for hands sometimes, and it's been that way for most of
he
the
was
year.
that way with the Packers.
But he's had a lot of big plays this fucking.
Aaron
playoff
Rodgers
run.
threw him up a bunch. That.
Oh, the same thing.
Yeah.
When we picked him up, James Shook was first thing he messages me.
He's like-
Hey, enjoy MVS. I hope he can catch the ball for you.
yeah, exactly.
Big
Well-
Packers.
Well, yeah, we know James.
Hmm.
So, any other trash though to talk? Any other final guy to get out that's gonna happen in the Super Bowl or?
And we have the weird prop bets for the game.
Oh, you have some pulled up?
Yeah.
All right.
What team apparel will Drake wear on the Super Bowl Sunday? Chiefs -170, Niners +130.
He seems like a Chiefs guy.
He's Canadian though.
Yeah, he is Canadian.
No.
Niners are California. You know, he's probably in LA a whole bunch, I'm guessing.
Kiss of death.
What is
whatever
he?
wears.
What is he? Is he at halftime?
No, that's Usher.
So what is he doing there?
He's just there. He's always
He's just
places.
there?
Yeah, he's always places.
He's rich.
Niners.
I think he wears Niner stuff, and it's a kiss of death. If he does.
Yeah. What does Taylor Swift wear?
No, probably a Kylie Juszczyk.
Yeah.
Or Kristen Juszczyk jacket. Like
But it is going to be indoors in Vegas. It's not going to be cold.
Oh, yeah, true. Maybe not then.
Is that a type of jacket?
Well, like the 49ers fullback, his wife had been making like custom jackets out of jerseys, and she finally got like permission by the NFL to make licensed gear.
She's had a lot of celebrities wearing
Yeah,
her shit,
Taylor
though.
Swift actually got a custom made like Kelce 87
Yeah, she like chops up
awesome
jerseys
kit.
and makes custom jackets and
Yeah,
shit.
like,
out of
puffy
it.
winter jackets.
Oh,
type shit,
that's cool.
yeah. She made Debo Samuel a Brock Purdy one.
Hmm.
Yeah. See, and that's the other thing I love about the Niners is like everyone's behind Brock. They're like, man, this is our
This is
dude.
our guy.
This is our dude.
Hmm.
You know, we're not here.
That's like a college reaction.
where it
you
wasn't
know?
like that with Garoppolo. Like Garoppolo, he was
Garoppolo's a
talked
pretty
high,
boy.
but like I feel like
He was like a
people are
Brady level.
the team
pompous.
is like 100% behind Brock. You know what I mean? Like there is genuine love for that. You know that dude, and that's I think the biggest difference
So
between
He has
2019
charisma, right?
A little bit. He's kind of
I don't think I've like
sheepish.
watched interviews or anything of him.
he's not like shy, but he doesn't like.
He's not cocky. Yeah.
No.
All right.
And he you know, he bless the Lord and all that stuff.
okay,
Like
yeah.
he's
He's
big
just a
in the
rational
Bible, but-
guy or whatever.
Yeah, he's never like.
How does he
brash
feel about vaccines?
or, I don't know. He probably wouldn't even tell you that's the kind of guy he is.
All right, no, that's a good answer. Honestly, like shut the fuck up, Aaron Rodgers. You know.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was on Joe Rogan again here
Yeah, I
yesterday
wonder how
or
that
something.
went. Yeah.
And he
I
was like,
listened to
I've
some
lost
of it.
millions on my political views and COVID and
Yeah.
making himself out to be some fucking
Like sad sack.
martyr.
Yeah, like you're just fine. Shut up, dude.
Yeah.
I think it's so funny though that he made all those Pfizer jokes against Kelsey. And
Yeah,
he
Mr.
works for
Pfizer.
fucking like was it Johnson Johnson owns the fucking
He-
Jets,
Yeah.
something
exactly.
like that.
Also.
Is he coming back?
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Where do
Yeah.
you keep going?
Yeah. Things keep happening, man. We just gotta hold it down. But
Well, that's fine. I wasn't planning on going all night now that it's already later and.
yeah, I like 30,
Come on, Howard.
27. I like us getting to 30. That means we
Okay.
actually did pretty well.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel good
But
about
that
us
comes
running
down
the
to
ball.
a field goal. Then it sounds like.
Yeah, but maybe we score a touchdown to go up 3, kind of a thing. Like we're down 4 with a drive to go. You know.
All right.
It's kind of if we're given the last opportunity, Brock goes down and scores. Like that's. Just
Oh,
how
that's
it
the
is.
same way with the Chiefs, though. You
Yeah,
give them
I know, right?
7 seconds, they're gonna go down.
But
and
I never
score.
felt like that before. That's why I feel like this is such a bigger deal for the Niners this year than it was 2019. Because there were jokes about Garoppolo, like, hey, you guys only passed the ball 8 yards. You're not gonna be able to throw the ball against the Chiefs. And for a large portion of that game, he did. But eventually, like he missed a
He was
big.
getting yak.
But then he misses a big wide open Marquise Goodwin that would have been the tide turner for that game. We punt it back.
That's
Game's
Garoppolo though. He
over.
can't make fucking big throws.
Yep. So that's I think the biggest difference now is like Brock can make those throws. No matter how it looks, they get there somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, we
figure
got
it
a
out.
Mahomes and a hell of a fucking defense.
Yeah.
Which is probably the biggest difference between that one and this one. Even though your defense ended up playing really good in the end, like they weren't a statistical gem as they are this season.
They were when they played the Niners last time.
In the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah, they had some of the guys on the team now. Obviously, Chris Jones.
Overall ranked, they were just kind of mad, but like you guys finished the year really well that season defensively, and like it showed.
It was Spagnuolo's first year, the defensive coordinator, and then we had a lot of the guys, the big name guys, of the dudes that fucking ball. They were all like rookies and shit that year. But they've, they've been 3 out of the last 4. I would say one thing the Chiefs have a huge advantage on. AFC, I believe, hands down, has the best quarterbacks. And the Chiefs have statistically...
He's competed against
if
some
they
of
win
them.
this Super Bowl, they will have statistically had the toughest road to winning a playoff ever. It's based on like DVOA, which is advanced metrics for offense and defense and players, etc.
Over averages.
Why does the NFC suck so
Yeah,
much?
how much did your play contribute to win?
I don't know. Jordan Love and Jared Goff were no slouches. Both of them threw for well over 4,100 yards. And in fact, everyone's now crowning Jordan Love next year's MVP. I don't know if you've been seeing that, but like, so it's not like we've been playing slouches.
But the Chiefs got, obviously Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, the guy from the
who's
Bills.
now going to be a problem.
Josh
Allen.
The
Tua, puts up
Bengals.
numbers anyways.
Joey Burrow when he's
Burrow,
healthy.
Yeah, Burrow, big time.
What about Lawrence?
He's in the AFC as well. I don't know. I've never thought
He's
he was
good.
that great.
He's good. I just
He
don't
peaked
think
in college.
I don't think his supporting cast is as good.
I never think he was that good in college either. I mean, like he was.
Well, he won a Natty and a fucking Heisman.
Yeah, I don't know. I always felt he was overhyped. They were
No,
christening
he
all
was.
this
He was
crazy
the-
shit in high school.
Honestly,
He was the Cha guy.
Their general manager at the Jacksonville Jaguars is Trent Baalke, so I can tell you that's probably why they're not as good as they could
Old
be.
Niners GM and fucking. They were bad before that, but
It's
he
true.
didn't help.
Yeah, and I don't think they've been doing good to get him the talent they need to succeed. I mean, Calvin Ridley, if he can not bet on games, I think he'll be okay.
Yeah. What do you mean? Not owner?
No, Calvin Ridley, wide receiver.
He was betting on games.
Yeah, he had to. Was it performance enhancing or betting? But he had to sit out the season prior to.
Yeah,
as you
it was
should.
like a year and a half. It was like partway through the year before, I think 6 games in or something like that. So like 2/3 of the season he missed, and then a whole nother one. But he came over from the Falcons, former Alabama player.
But they haven't drafted well. They had to sign this cat to come over. They've,
Jacksonville always does that though.
So yeah, I mean that's a good point that the AFC has had to see the better quarterbacks. But you guys have also played
It's about defense.
NFC's best quarterbacks too.
They have to play the defense, not the offense.
Well, my point being, as far as like the Chiefs are concerned, they've played all the best quarterbacks. They just played like statistically all the best quarterbacks in the AFC this year for the playoffs.
They did pretty well.
Stop them all. I don't put Purdy in any of those guys' classes. I'm sorry, I don't. I think that Shanahan and that offense is phenomenal. He's got great skilled guys around him. I think our defense can neutralize the skill position dudes, and I don't trust Purdy.
Yeah.
Not when, especially after seeing Debo being out. Like to me that just showed those guys make that engine go. It's not necessarily Purdy.
We also had Trent.
I mean, he's
Williams out.
obviously NFL starting quarterback and does great at what he does.
Trent Williams being out during that same time period was probably a bigger detriment than Debo. Not having Debo does suck, yes, but not having Trent Williams is worse.
Wasn't Ayuk
And
out of
we
the
had
game
him
too?
both.
And all that?
No, we still had him,
I
thankfully.
thought they had like one other guy that was like out too.
Well, fuck,
two
dude, the
skill
Cleveland-
position guys.
Dude, the Cleveland loss, Brock shouldn't have even played. He cleared concussion protocol that game, and because he got
Cleveland
one.
also had a hell of a defense.
Sure, but he really shouldn't have played. And I think a lot of his throws, whether it was being wet or not, a lot of his decisions were like weird because he took that week off, came back, he was like a laser again.
So, what is your opinion on Jordan Love?
Well, I'll defer to Carly. She's a Green Bay fan. What do you think about Jordan Love? Speak loudly, please.
We're in
Oh, he is going to be a baller this coming up year. For sure.
MVP.
Hi, Ryan.
What's up, guys?
Holy shit, you grew a beard.
I've always had this, but it's a lot longer now.
Maybe more red.
No, it's probably because it's contrasting with my life.
No, like I didn't even
No, you're
recognize
wearing
you.
red
Just
too,
your
though.
voice I knew.
Oh yeah,
Anyways.
I'm also like getting over a cold. I'm fine, but like I still have like some stuff.
No, your voice made me recognize you. Your
Oh,
beard
It's a little longer than it normally is. That's for sure.
Well,
I just got mine trimmed.
It looks nice.
What do you think of the
I
mullet?
like it. You got a little faux honk too. That's nice.
It's just a mullet.
anyhow,
Mrs. Mullet.
Jordan Love is the next Patrick Mahomes, I think.
I wouldn't say that.
I mean, he had probably worse wide receivers than him.
Okay,
too.
let's say
I think they got great.
How does
talent
he
wide
feel
receivers. They're all
about
super
vaccines?
young.
Patrick
They're all
Mahomes
first
is
and
so
second players.
weird the way
Yeah.
he throws the ball, so maybe not Patrick Mahomes, but maybe
Garoppolo.
Tom Brady.
Do you think Jordan
No,
Love...
he's not like Tom. Tom was not a mobile guy.
Garoppolo? Did you
Honestly,
say
I
Garoppolo?
was joking.
Why not just compare him to
Ah,
Aaron? Because I
for
think
fuck's
you can.
sake.
You can take a moment to compare him to Aaron, probably.
Rogers,
I
yeah.
haven't
He
seen him
can
enough.
throw and move
They're
and all
both
that shit at the
athletic.
same
Like,
Like,
time.
none of them are known as zone read, run first quarterbacks and such, but
MVP worthy.
accurate with the ball, athletic enough to, if you need to move the pocket or get out of dodge quick and do some things, like he can do it. Like
Yeah, he was
No, I would say his game is reminiscent of Mahomes. I think Mahomes though is
True,
to an nth
true.
degree. I
why?
think you're
'Cause he's half
comparing.
black. I'm just kidding.
He's
No,
just
yeah.
got his baseball
Nth,
background, the
not
way he
ninth.
can throw a ball,
Not- or
and
not
all
nth.
these weird angles and shit.
Let me ask,
accurate
are
is
you
just
a-
insane?
Are you a Packers fan? You're Niners, I think, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Niners fan.
Okay,
They even got
so-
CMC. on.
Yeah, go Niners this week. But at the same time, next year,
She's sleeping on the couch this week.
yeah, I know you're sleeping on the couch.
You have to get hair extensions. On
Next
those.
year we're playing you guys in Lambeau during the regular season.
That'll be fun. Do you want to go to the game?
Fuck, one of my agents is a Green Bay Packers fan, and he's asked me the same thing.
Let's all go to the game
So
together.
we might have to figure that out.
Yeah,
That's
let's
for
do
sure.
it. Do we
That's
know what
probably
day?
one of the few times. No, I don't think they've got the actual schedule out
They
yet.
won't
They
for
just
a while.
announced the who's home and away.
Yeah, they won't for a while.
Yeah, because I'll have to figure out who's good,
Yeah,
who's
fine.
not, TV times, and all that bullshit. Fuck, you know.
I think
yeah,
the
if I
Packers
go
are definitely
to-
a team on the rise for sure.
Yeah, and they
Sorry,
fired
that's
Joe
all you're
Barry,
right,
so the defense has
Um,
got a chance to improve.
I really believe,
They got
after seeing Jordan Love halfway through his season, I mean, halfway through, it was a little fall.
Rogers' first time starting, they didn't make the playoffs. They were right
But
around 500.
before
You're right around
Love to
500 too,
make
they
the
made the
playoffs, and he fucking killed the playoffs too.
He came out of bye
He
week
did.
looking really sharp.
I
and then
think
just
the
never came
Lions
back.
are the.
There was, I
Packers blew
honestly,
their playoff game. They should have won.
can I say something?
Both of them did, to be fair.
I genuinely did not think that we were even gonna get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
We snuck it in.
Yeah.
Very last minute,
Just a
and
tip.
it was like just the tip,
Little love.
and we
Little
fucking
Jordan.
crushed it to get there.
Beat the
And
Lions. over
I'm not
there.
even
Had
gonna
us in the
lie,
first half, not
even
gonna
that
lie.
first playoff game Jordan Love's ever played, right?
Yeah.
He did so well. Threw a, what was it, a pick?
Nah.
Against who?
Couple. He threw a couple to Dre
He threw a
Greenlaw.
couple, but it
Oh,
was
yeah.
also,
They were
he,
poorly fucking timed. Like just.
it
That
was,
last
it
one
was
was-
against the Niners, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who beat him.
Niners are fucking mean,
Hmm.
and they.
When we figured out, yes, 100%.
Yeah, they're mean, and they're gonna fucking. They want to win.
Oh,
It's
so
true.
you think they really want to beat the Chiefs?
Oh,
hell
fuck
I
yeah.
yeah.
think
the
it's
point of the
teed.
game.
I think it's teed up like that because, like
the
we
Niners
talked
are- the
about, a
Niners
lot
are
of those
gonna-
players were on that team that took the L.
I
so.
hope the Niners kill them.
Mm.
I hope they get mean and
I
kill
don't think
them.
that's
And then
gonna
the
happen.
flags come out if they're mean.
No,
They don't need to be
mean
flagged.
Run up the
in a
score.
legal football way.
Over under on how
They are
many
tough.
times
They're a tough
Travis
team.
Kelce signals a first down in a 49er defender's
With the whole
face
Taylor Swift shit and everything going on, no,
3.
we have to kill the vibe.
and not get a flag for it.
It seems like too much of a fucking show
They can
going
point.
on. If the fucking
You just can't
Chiefs
point
win,
at somebody.
it's like, okay,
Yeah.
well, this is all
Everybody
fake.
does that.
It
thing.
definitely feels fake if the Chiefs win.
It feels fake.
And especially if it's
going
gonna be like on a fucking really
Like-
questionable call in the fourth quarter,
I don't think there's.
under 2 minutes,
I think the refs are going to call what are necessary, and they're going to let them play.
there'll be something questionable. I know there will be.
People are going to nitpick.
No, dude, there'll be something questionable. Like, why did he throw that flag this time? and not all the other
We'll see.
times.
I don't
They
know.
were handsy.
They've been so good all playoffs. I kind of expect it to be just as good.
Yeah, I'm not worried about any referee shit.
Who's officiating?
No.
I can't. God
If
damn, I
the
just heard
Chiefs
you guys
win,
name.
fuck that.
Not Cleve
That-
Blakeman.
I
Yeah.
mean,
No, it's like
Cleve's
an
the
all-star
best.
cast of refs. That's what they do for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to betting. How many times will Roger Goodell be shown?
Once.
Ryan sees.
No one wants to see Goodell more than once.
I don't know why it's even a bet. I can't believe.
It's obviously gonna happen. They'll show him. He's
At
probably
least twice.
It's
pro-
1.5.
He's probably
Is the odds. Over-under's
guaranteed.
1.5.
He's probably guaranteed one shot, and if the announcers happen to talk about him, they'll show him again. You know.
What do you? Okay, you guys familiar with the term scoregami?
Mm-mm.
So will there be a scoregami? Is one of them. Yes, plus 2,500. No, negative 10,000.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah. So effectively, a scoregami means a score that has never happened in a Super Bowl. So if you have something like 2-9, I'm guessing that's never happened in the Super Bowl.
Oh, I got you.
Oh.
Like a 21-12 kind of thing, right?
That might have happened.
It could happen. Well, I mean, there's only been 55 games.
I mean, if you're gonna make that bet, then you better be betting on a safety. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's gonna fucking hedge your bet there.
Wait, is it just a random number that hasn't happened yet?
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, 2-9. Like, that's never fucking happened in the Super Bowl. A
Oh.
safety and
Well,
somebody kicks 3 field
but what
goals.
if it's 7-24? I mean, that's never happened
That's
before.
probably happened.
Well,
That's
maybe. What if it hasn't?
I don't know. I don't know what's available. It's very low odds.
That's what I'm just wondering because there's only been
Interesting.
so many games. You know.
So a scoregami with a distinct score has occurred 1,084 times, I think, in the history of the NFL. So that's just a 6.5% of the time that a scoregami happens, and just in general for the NFL.
I don't see a safety happening by either team. There's not gonna be a lot of
The
punts
last
to
Super Bowl
block
to end
people.
with scoregami was 10 years ago when the Seattle Seahawks beat the Broncos 43-8. That had a safety right at the beginning, I think, with Von Miller. That was the only big play the fucking Broncos had all game. All right. What do you think
No,
the odds are?
No, safeties are rare enough. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it'd be kind of wild if something like that happened.
So
What if the power goes out?
I think
That's
that's on the
happened.
list.
Yeah,
29. It happened to us in 2012. We were getting our ass stomped at
the
that
Niners
time.
were in that game.
Yeah, against the Ravens.
It was a Harbaugh Bowl. It was
Yeah,
called
that's
Harbaugh Bowl.
right. That's right. Wow.
Yeah, we actually all made that a game, but I mean, by the time the lights went off, like, yeah, we were getting
That was the
smoked.
I think that was like the original NFL conspiracy because the Niners
There's
were just getting momentum and
more
started to
than
score, and then
that.
that happened and like put a pause in the game, and
There's
everybody was
been
like,
way more than that.
Was there more people there?
John was here.
will any player be ejected for throwing a punch or fighting? What do you think the odds are of that?
Yeah, people I feel like are usually on their best behavior because they know it's a Super Bowl. They probably get fined shit ton if they throw a punch or something like that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
You never know though. Tensions can run high. I
There
don't.
could be a shove. I can see that.
I don't see a.
What's that?
Vape. Tis vape.
Oh no, I'll throw the fuck
All right, fair enough.
All right, so yes is plus 700, no negative 1,600.
Wow.
I don't know what those numbers mean. Does that sound like it's pretty?
That just
See,
means
I
like
know.
negative 1,600 means it's a fairly long-ass shot that it was the
Pays
yes.
out.
What was yes plus what?
Yes, plus 700.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
it's okay.
it's leaning as it's favored to
Like the
not
shelves?
happen, basically, at a much higher clip than.
I think they look good.
Any player proposed to the girlfriend.
He wanted to put
Oh,
that
jeez.
right behind you.
I don't think Travis Kelce's doing that. I'm sure that's what everybody's thinking about.
Yeah, but they did
Probably.
just get started this
Right.
year, so I wouldn't see that happening. That's crazy.
Hey, babe, what do you think about the room with the new shelves?
I think that that picture is best there because if it was behind Lane, he would have already broken it.
Well, anyways, how do you think about the
Most
shelves?
likely.
They look good. Is that are there any the long ones?
Those are the longest ones right there. And then right above you.
These
that
two?
one. Yep, and
Okay.
the third one behind you.
Oh, did you hang them all up?
What do you
We got
know?
them all up.
They're little footballs.
1, 2, 3,
Footballs.
4, 5. 1,
Tiny
2, 3,
footballs.
4,
What do you know?
5, 6,
They're little
7,
footballs.
8. Where's the 9?
There's 9.
That's funny.
It's 5 there,
Oh,
plus 2, 7, plus 2 more 9.
Oh, good. I'm
I'm
gonna
not that
have
good
more.
at
I'm gonna have more
arithmetic.
space for my stuff then. Okay.
So,
Gatorade
I
color.
have a story for you.
that's not on this list. This is like more obscure shit. So, what do you guys think? What's more favored? Somebody proposes or not proposes?
No proposing.
No proposing. I don't think that'll happen.
Proposing is more favored. Plus
Yeah.
210 to no 190.
We gotta imagine how much you have to pay to get the camera to show you.
So-
I'm pretty sure the Kittles are
I
already married.
think they're doing this for the Super Bowl, but one of the major networks for hosting football games is now putting cameras on the field goal posts
Nice.
on the actual like uprights.
Oh, so you
Not
can
just
see
the
up, so
crossbar.
you can see
That'd be
like straight up.
So
from
yeah,
it.
they want to catch doinks.
That'd
So
be dope.
I think the
sound-
Super Bowl might
The
have
sound's
those.
been awesome. They've had that
Yeah,
readily
I
available.
love the sound.
So here it is. Will either kicker hit the upright or crossbar on a missed field goal or extra point attempt?
Moody will.
What do you think? Yes or no? More favorable?
Oh man,
Yes.
I hope so.
It'll happen.
It's honestly like my favorite.
No's favored
thing.
at negative 700. Yes is at plus 4.
I think it'll happen.
A lot of people want it to happen. What is the
The
camera?
last person. Who do you think the
show?
last person was to actually doink one?
Oh, it happened recently. It happened in the playoffs. It happened in the
You mean
playoffs.
In the-
last
in the
person
Super
in
Bowl,
Super Bowl?
Oh,
specifically.
in the Super Bowl.
Oh, it
Whoa.
was.
Who's been there the most recently?
Probably the Harrison Butker.
Niners.
You would be absolutely wrong if you said the opposite answer. It was Harrison Butker, the 42-yard attempt. Hit off the top left upright.
In what year?
Probably last year.
Yeah, last season. So last year.
Wow, he doinked it last year, huh?
Yeah.
Could
Well,
be
he
a
also, like, the
reoccurring
first-
thing.
His like first kickoff of the year was in Arizona turf.
Oh yeah.
And
he's sick.
he slipped. A bunch of
I
players got
remember that
injured. McDuffie, our rookie, got fucking injured. He's the All-Pro this year.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of guys like hurt their ankles and
Players
knees.
don't
in
get
the turf.
fucking
And the other
hurt
team did
from a
too.
kickoff.
No. The turf was loose. It was like kept tearing up. So
Yeah,
guys would like
it
do
was
something
like
that would like
loose
slip up beneath
sod.
them.
Loose sod, yeah, because if they put it down too late, you know, and it didn't set well, yeah, it just slips.
Okay, this is interesting.
Okay.
Will the power go out? What do you think is favored?
No.
No.
It's happened before. They're not
Yes.
going to pull that again.
Yes.
Plus
it's favored.
1,600, no 1,500.
Yeah, I would definitely take no in that regard.
Well, where was it when the power went off?
I don't know whether
Where
I
was
felt
it
like it was
at?
somewhere weird.
That was Philly? No.
It was somewhere that like hadn't had a Super Bowl before because they were like
It was 20
they had to. I
it was
remember
the 2012
hearing
Super Bowl.
they had to like redo something like they brought in a whole bunch of power.
2013. It was inside the New Orleans Sugar Bowl blackout.
Yeah, so right after the fucking
Or
hurricane.
sorry, New Orleans Super Bowl, not Sugar Bowl. New Orleans Super Bowl. So it was in that whatever they call their stadium.
Yeah.
The Metrodome? Or no, it's
I feel like Vegas has a pretty good power grid, but
Vegas is probably safe to say, yeah, it's not having that happen.
you never
New
know.
Orleans,
There could be like a
probably gonna have power
it
outage.
could be like a Con Air style, plane that lands and takes the whole grid down. That's all I would worry about.
Yeah.
But I love that movie.
That's
Con Air.
Yeah, isn't that a great movie?
It is. 100%.
Okay, thank you. Those are my empty beer cans.
We're keeping score.
Who can drink the most tonight? That's
Yeah.
bad.
Who can drink the
That's,
six?
that's a
cats?
bad.
I don't
What
want
was
to
your score
compete
prediction,
against
Ryan?
I picked 30-27 San Fran.
Oh, you think a higher scoring game?
I think you guys are winning going
Little bit
into our. I think you guys are. Yeah, I think both teams are able to score. Not to rehash this since these people have already heard me say it, but
Okay, your battery pack.
yeah, I think
I need that.
by the second half, both teams don't really have problems scoring. It becomes a little fun. And you guys go ahead late, and then we have to drive and score. That's kind of how I think it goes. Brock's.
24-21.
Well, yeah. Is that you? 24-21?
Yeah. You go either way.
Yeah.
It's either one wins. Carly, what do you think the score will be?
You don't have a winner pick? You're just
Yeah.
saying whoever wins 24-21.
That's the score?
No, I think it'll be the Chiefs, but I think the 49ers could do it too. It all comes down to whoever
I
has
think
the
it'll
last.
be 34
High score
to
to 2.
24.
34-24.
Oh, okay. So the Niners are going to handily take it.
Mm-hmm.
Go into the fourth quarter comfortably.
That would surprise me a bit.
That would definitely surprise me.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, but that's usually what happens in the Super Bowl, right? People that think it's gonna be a good game, someone gets blown out.
Oh no, a blowout is Cowboys versus
Patriots
Packers.
and Rams 3 years
Yeah.
ago, or was what?
Did you watch that game?
Probably.
The Cowboys
3 or
versus
something.
Packers.
Yeah, it wasn't very
Packers
offensively
scored like it was
showcasing. You know,
like, almost
Even Rams
60
Bengals
to-
was
Yeah.
24-21.
no. I mean, you guys scored a couple late to make it 30-17, but like,
Yeah,
Chiefs rookie
it's
Rasheed
like-
Rice, if he gets 6
It'll
catches
be
in the
close.
Super Bowl, he will set the rookie record for most catches in a playoff series.
It'll be close. It's gonna be a close game. It's gonna come down to an injury,
you think?
maybe. I think questionable call, man. I think there'll be something within, near 2-minute mark where it's like, why'd they throw that flag now?
Yeah. That would
Oh,
be,
there's a hold, that gave someone a first down. And
that would be must-see TV. Depending on who the flag's on.
well, see, this is where I'm also thinking, because, the NFL is very WWE now.
Yeah.
So, like, you think they would set up a rivalry between the Chiefs and the Niners, So it kind of goes back and forth.
Maybe.
But they could also play the game of, like, no, let's set the dynasty up, So I don't know.
You're a big script guy?
Oh, I think it's all scripted,
Oh,
man.
man. It's too tough to
They
script, I think.
they 100% script the game. The announcers know what they're going to be talking about,
Well, that part of it, yes.
Yeah, and they've talked to the coaches. They know the game plans that people are going to do and stuff.
What
so
they've been willing to give.
they
yeah.
share information sometimes. Pull a little strings
Oh, the
here,
Chiefs had Eric
you know.
Bieniemy with them before the
I heard
Ravens
that.
game.
Yeah, nice.
He was the
little
former
field
OC, and he went to Washington this year to be the assistant head coach.
goal. And then fired.
Yeah,
Mm.
but he came in and did a play install, and like players were like all super motivated and jacked up.
I like your hat.
Thank you.
Did you get it from Barstool Sport?
Yeah,
It says dad.
I did.
I almost bought the same
As soon as I saw it, I was like,
for
yep,
myself.
I'm gonna get that.
I'll say this:
Since I'm a dad.
Ryan wins the hat, but Derek wins the shirt.
Yeah.
Who's it supposed to be?
Inspired Chiefs.
It's
I
it's
think
Tyreek Hill,
Ryan-
Travis
I
Kelce,
think
and
Ryan
Reed
wins
Mahomes.
the shirt,
who's
the
the
jacket,
middle?
and the hat.
the hat.
Tyreek.
That's
Thank
Tyreek.
you.
Oh, so
oh,
it's
who am I
Kelce.
rooting for?
I know, right?
That's an older
Mahomes,
one.
Reed.
Well, if I wanted to get weird, I'd just pull out my Christian McCaffrey one.
Who am I rooting for?
Niners.
Let me put that on for the night.
That's what I said.
I'll take the
You-
fucking
Yeah,
name.
the shirt.
And
I
in the
said
immortal
Ryan has
words
the
of
fucking
Mahomes,
jacket,
we're here.
the shirt, and the
That's
hat.
right.
Even though the Chiefs are picked under or whatever, everyone knows the 49ers are the underdogs,
It's
and
kinda
everyone
crazy
wants to
that we
cheer
are
for an
the-
underdog.
Yeah,
Why
it's kind
are
of
the
crazy.
49ers the underdog?
We're not. We're
You're
actually
not.
favored
Well,
by
yeah,
the
favored.
But it's because of the
that blows
because
my
of the
mind
Chiefs.
Because of the Chiefs, basically they're
No,
defending
fuck the
champions.
Chiefs.
They're defending
Fuck
champions.
the
Never
Chiefs.
underestimate the heart of a champion.
Fuck the Chiefs.
It's just they've been
I mean,
there.
yeah, 100%.
I'm
I
so
agree with you.
sick of the Chiefs. It's like it's
Thank
like
you.
the fucking Patriots when Tom Brady was on it.
Thank
Who
you.
even
Fuck
was sick of
that. I
Michael
am
Jordan
sick
winning in
of
the
it.
90s?
It's like
I-
fucking
I
stop
didn't
winning.
think
We're witnessing
It's not
Michael
worth-
Jordan right now.
Yeah,
Get
I
somebody
just,
new in there.
I've
Michael
never
Jordan
been a
didn't
Chiefs fan,
cry
fan of
about
Chiefs fans. Like,
penalties.
Me
even
either.
as a-
I
You yell at
even as a
refs and
Yeah.
stuff.
Hell,
I
they
hated
did it.
Chiefs since I was fucking born, I think.
You're right. I watched the documentary.
kid. Nice.
I'm watching it right now.
You're always watching.
Actually-
I've watched that documentary over 30 times.
Which one?
Bulls and MJ in the 90s.
Oh yeah,
Last Dance.
My biggest hated team is Cowboys.
Everyone
Next.
hates the Cowboys.
Next
Yeah.
comes Chiefs.
Her dad's a Raiders fan.
Ah, yeah. So that's
We've
why.
gotten in a fist.
I
That's
can't-
where the fuck the Chiefs shit.
I
comes
can't
from,
hate
yeah.
No.
the Chiefs because I've
No,
been
it
to a
doesn't.
Chiefs game.
Me too. I'm usually
So-
cheering for the other team when I'm there.
Yeah. Well,
Like-
then I have to cheer for the Broncos.
I'm
if
gonna
it was
buy
that
every
way.
NFC jersey there is, just a player from each NFC, and then every time the fucking
Wait, are
Packers
Chiefs,
play, I'm wearing an NFC jersey.
Are
for the
That's
Chiefs-
team
actually
playing
what I
against.
did.
are Chiefs, Cowboys,
So-
and
Some friends of mine, we
Raiders
would go
in the
buy
same
package deals for cheap. Because
division?
back
I don't
in
know
the
that.
early 2000s,
I don't
Oh
think
my
so.
god, I have
like,
to answer this
tickets were
call.
cheap. You could buy
I'll
a
be okay.
3-pack game for
Fuck
like
'em all,
$70, something like
Oh,
that. So
Oh shit!
4 friends of mine, we would buy our tickets all together, and then every season for 3 years, we went to 3 Chiefs games. And yeah, I bought a Vince Young jersey when he played the Chiefs. I actually have a Green Bay. I don't have anymore. A Green Bay Packers shirt because I got to see Brett Favre play in Arrowhead Stadium. That's probably my 2 highlights of going to see Chiefs games. But yeah, I've always
Great barbecue in those games.
So have you been to a Niners game?
Yes, I
Yes,
went
I
to
have.
San Francisco
2
last
years ago?
year.
Last year, okay.
Well, I guess it's 24, but like a year ago, this past November, I actually did fly out to San Fran for a game, so I could see him before I turned 40.
Was it your anniversary?
Nice.
Okay, it was your
No, it was
birthday.
my birthday. Like the day,
I
the
think I
game
do
was the
actually
day
remember
before
hearing
my
about this
40th
before.
birthday.
Yeah.
So we went out there, and I got to see a game out there. I wish I would have been able to go to Candlestick. I got to go see where Candlestick was,
Yeah.
but yeah, Santa Clara was cool. The stadium was all right, but
So I'm pretty excited, not to change the subject, but I'm going to a Kansas game in a couple weeks versus Texas
nice.
at Allen Fieldhouse.
That's gonna be fun.
I've become a basketball fan, or a
Okay.
Kansas basketball
You're
fan.
going to the fog.
My lady is, so
Okay.
it's just she watches them all. So
She
Now you're
graduated
in?
from KU, right?
yeah, she's from
Okay.
KU.
Dope.
So
Well,
and she watches the Huskers now, so I can watch the KU. But I felt like to really be a fan, I need to go experience this. And what everyone
100%.
says about Allen Fieldhouse, like that's one of the best places.
One of the
to
top-notch
watch.
places to visit for college basketball. 100%.
Yeah, so I'm pretty pumped about that. It's like 2 weeks away.
Yeah, so I had to go see the Niners at some point, and I thought
Yeah,
about going
To
to
be
see
a
the-
true fan.
because they actually played closer that season in Denver and Chicago. Glad I didn't go to Chicago because it rained its ass off that year, and then we lost to Denver that season. So I ended up settling.
Nah, you gotta see them at home.
I ended
too.
up settling on a
Gotta
Monday
get a
night
home
game
crowd for
in
that.
November, like the day before, and it was against the Chargers.
I think most games I've been to, the Chiefs have lost. Maybe since my, you know what? I take that back.
We went
I
to
had
the-
season tickets one year,
Nice.
and they got a lot of wins. They had Mahomes. It was, I think, the year they won the Super Bowl. The year before that, yeah, it was the year they won the Super Bowl. The year before that, I bought tickets to the divisional round, and then is it divisional round and then AFC?
Okay.
Yeah, and they lost.
Yeah, the number one seed was when he won his first MVP. It was Andrew Luck's last game. The Chiefs won they might have scored 43 points,
Yeah.
and then I think the Colts had 10.
Who they lose
And
to?
then they lost to the Patriots the next game in the AFC Championship.
Mm.
I had the first game. I was right behind the goalpost, front row, and then 16 rows back, basically same spot
That was the
for the
comeback game.
AFC
That was the season of the comeback game.
comeback game.
When Tom Brady came
Just
back
like
and won.
Kim
No,
Kardashian.
the Chiefs were down
No, in the Super Bowl.
20
when
yeah, same
Falcons,
year.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was the same year Falcons went up 28-3
Yeah.
in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I thought the Chiefs had the game won. We had the pick,
Yeah.
and then
100%.
they said that D Ford lined up offsides.
Yeah.
The part that I always bitch about was the tackle was lined up so far fucking offsides in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't even in line, so he always
Could have been illegal
But that was
formation,
the thing that was most frustrating. That was like Reed had called the refs out multiple times. Said, "Hey, watch this. Is my guy's lined up sides based off this dude?"
Mhm.
And then, you know how history is now. But
It's always something controversial, man. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
well, you know what?
Something's gonna
D Ford at the end of the day
happen.
lined up offsides. So
Long story short, yeah, exactly.
Well,
and
final
then shipped off to the Niners and got a big contract and did absolutely nothing.
He was actually a good rotational player for us until he got hurt, which he got
He
hurt. with
always
you
was
guys.
hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
What is
That was the first year he was healthy.
But
fucking,
when he played, dude, he was absolutely fantastic. Like D'Amico Ryans got everything out of that dude. I miss D'Amico Ryans. God damn it, he's doing wonders for Houston.
Yeah,
But,
no,
like, dude,
he was-
he made D Ford awesome.
One thing about D Ford though is he was only good at rushing the passer.
True.
That was all he was good for.
Mm-hmm.
Liability everywhere else. Rotational piece is where he should have been with the Chiefs, but they drafted him and tried to make him a center. They got out of him a great year and then shipped him off and got fucking picks and actually had good picks with those picks.
Yeah,
I think that might have been where
we're really good at giving people picks.
might have been where Snead came from.
Yeah.
Doesn't Tony always say that the Chiefs do good with former Niners?
It's
It's
historical.
been vice versa.
It's
Like
historical, and
Yeah.
they've actually had
Montana and
both teams have-
Gerbach came from the Niners too.
The Niners rejects go and
Yeah.
find some glory.
Mooney
Well, no,
Ward.
it's gone both ways though. Like they've had like some
Travarius
other
Ward.
receivers.
Yeah, we got Cheifs Ward. He's an
I
obvious
think
example.
Baldwin went
but-
there maybe for a minute for the Chiefs. He was,
Chris Conley.
he wouldn't play for the
Yeah,
Niners.
we
too?
have him. He actually caught a big catch against Detroit. Not Chris Conley. Well, no, yeah, he was been off and on our practice squad quite a bit, but who else too?
There's been a lot of guys.
Yeah. Through the history,
okay.
yeah, 100%.
We probably had more big names from the Niners to the Chiefs.
Are the Niners considered a dynasty?
Not right now, no.
But they were. But they are. Once you're a dynasty, you're always a dynasty.
Team of the '80s, and then we were good through the 90s.
Once you're a dynasty, though, you're always like a
but
powerhouse.
We're tied for second.
Expectations.
You're a blue blood.
We're tied for second for exactly. We're tied for second for the most overall Super Bowl wins. So 5.
Yeah.
If we win Sunday, that puts us an outright second behind New England with 6.
No, the Chiefs have 3.
Yep, and if they win, I think they're top 5, maybe top 3, but top 5, I'm pretty sure.
Still chasing New England.
Yeah. And Mahomes has got a ways to go. He's going for it too. He's
100%. He's gonna have to. And I mean, the way they outlaid his recent contract, like they've got it set to where they can
billions.
He had a 10-year contract, but it was set up
backdated. So like they can build his team now for him without breaking salary cap. And
they adjusted his salary. Basically, his contract has a minimum that's crazy, but it's like a 10-year deal. And there's player and team options, however that breaks out towards the back half of the deal. But more or less, it's extremely flexible deal. So he could take less money if they need to get guys. This year, he's the highest paid quarterback for this year, just this year. And if actually he wins the Super Bowl, he'll be the first quarterback to win a Super Bowl being the highest paid quarterback. Doesn't generally happen that way.
No.
Because guys didn't chew up that much fucking...
I thought I remember hearing at the beginning of the season that there was a quarterback was getting paid the most or whatever.
It was Daniel Jones.
Yeah, after Mahomes had his adjustment, it was him. But I think that drops next year. They actually have something like just under $50 million in free cap space. But there's going to be guys that re-sign Jones, and he's up after this year.
Was it Jones? Oh, yeah.
He had the holdout at the end of the year.
Do you think you actually re-signed him?
I think it's going to come down to him or Snead, more than likely. I feel like because of youth, they'll go with Snead, unless they just have absolute faith in their secondary.
Because you still have Karl
but Merritt, I think, is gone after this year, so they might maybe say, you know what, we're not going to find another Jones. Let's secure him. Or sorry, they might keep Snead because he's already been coached up by Merritt. Let Jones walk. He's 31, I think.
I'm pretty sure Jones goes, and he's even said.
But they might be able to figure something out.
Yeah. It's not unheard of for sure.
I think they would keep Snead over Jones though. He's younger.
Should.
Their secondary is the strength of the team, but that's a lot of the secondary. You know, the line and the secondary play off each other. Jones is the fucking engine behind that fucking line.
You're already pretty good.
But Spags always dials up pressure, regardless.
Yeah, he's pretty good at that. Like you don't get in 3rd and long against Spags because.
I think a big thing that we're going to see in the Super Bowl is Felix Anuke or whatever. He's the guy that came over from drafted this year by K-State. While many who served a suspension the first 6 games of the year, Felix played. I think he had maybe a sack and a half, but he hasn't hardly played at all since Aminihu came back. Aminihu was out for the game towards ACL. So Felix is going to be playing. I'll be interested to see what he's learned with Daly. You know, is a phenomenal D-line coach. He's now had a full fucking year. He hasn't played hardly at all since week 6. He's going to be fresh. That could be a big thing with Aminihu out. Let's see what Felix
hopefully
has
his
learned.
endurance is all right.
Last game of the season for a guy that's barely played at all, I think he'll be okay. And he's a rookie. He's going to have energy for days.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But if he can't step up and play well, I think the Chiefs will be in danger defensively because they will be thin on the rotation. And Karlaftis has had a great year, 2nd-year player, and he's had a great playoff. But even last game, there was a couple plays where you could tell the dude was just fucking gassed.
Yeah.
Because they had a little bit of depth with Aminihu out. They don't have fucking depth unless Felix plays well.
Yeah.
He's a 1st-round pick though, so he's got athletic traits, but we'll see how it develops. He's raw coming in.
It'll be interesting.
Took the local kid.
All
I think
right,
he's
all
actually from KC.
Derek, so I know you can talk all night about how great the Chiefs are and how many Super Bowls they're going to win in the future, but it's probably time to wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
I want to give Ryan the last chance even just to, like, talk any sort of trash. You know, what's grinding your gears? You got anything to let out?
It has nothing to do with Taylor Swift. I honestly,
This is what I love.
I'm just tired of hearing that Brock's no good. So I'm looking forward to.
Who's he dating?
I'm looking forward to a lot of people eating some crow, and we're gonna see it.
Yeah. Yeah, having some egg on Taylor Swift's face would be
I don't give a shit about that. We'll see her a bunch. It's whatever, man. I'm happy for him. It's cool.
yeah.
Did she dress up as an anime character coming back from Japan?
What?
He has a concert in Japan that she flies out immediately and gets this.
All right, that's more information. So, did I?
It's in black.
All right, fuck off, John.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining us, Ryan.
Yep. Fuck off.
Trashy.